Hey guys, Mr. Gwill here. So in the previous tutorial, we saw how to create a bass line from a chord progression. We used the chords C major, A minor, D minor, and then G major. We then used the roots of these chords and we placed them as a bass line. So C, A, D, and G. This time we'll complexify it a bit just to have a bit more rhythm, a bit more melodic, more of a melodic line inside our bass line. And the way I do it is I go back to a 16th note on my first note, which was C. Now I give two tips when we create a bass line. The first tip is you can use any notes of the arpeggio you want, C, E, and G, but I could place them wherever I want. I could place it this way. I could place the E before, obviously, and then the G, and then going back to the E. I could even add, if I wanted, the seventh, so I could create like an arpeggio of a C major 7 here. The second tip I give is you can use a note that's right above or just right underneath. I could go right above onto the B or right underneath to G. All right, so let's try something. We're going from C to A. How could I possibly be getting up there? Let's try the arpeggio. So C, I'll place the E note here, so that would be the letter H, and then I'll go to G right here, letter C. I could even try this time, why not the 7th, so I could have the C major 7 here. Right here on the A note, so the A chord, A minor chord, I'm going right to the D chord, D minor. I could be using the arpeggio as well, so it would be A, C, and E. Let's try this again. So E, C, and then going back here. So A, E, and then C, going back up to D. Okay, let's try and double this and go like that to change the rhythm a bit, and we'll see afterwards how it sounds. Then I'm on D. I want to go back up to G. Yeah, let's use the arpeggio this time again. All right. So here is the letter I. Again, I used I on the second beat of the second measure here. And then I'm going from the G note, going back to C. So this time I like to use a descending melodic movement this way. So let's try something like that. And let's listen to our bass line. But let's start with the chord progression first. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, go. All right. So while I'm playing back, I can always move the notes around and then I can stretch them like that. So let's stretch them a little bit so it becomes a bit more musical. And now this is how I create a bass line, but I complexify it. So I'll give you an example in minor, and then we'll be using that example to go further in the next tutorial. All right, this time we're going to be trying a chord progression in A minor. All right, so I'll go back here. I'm going to take it to A and then minor. So I'll start with the A minor chord, C, C major, then I'll be going up to F and then D. Let's try this. So obviously I'll be using the same notes. I need to put the right key in, A minor. So at first I start with A, half note. Then I went up to, C. Then the root note is the F chord, so I'll be using F. And then finally D. So you understand the drill now? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So I'll be going back and bringing back that whole half note back to a 16th note. I'm going from the A chord to the C. I don't have so many options or choices. I could use, if I wanted to, I could use the arpeggio and going to A to C and then E and then going back to B. Oh yeah, let's try that now, right? Arpeggio. So A, C, E, and then going back to D to C. All right. Going back to a 16th note on my C chord, going from C to F. So let's do a melodic, upward melodic movement. Okay, so I'm going from C to D to E, and then right to F. Stretching down, F, I'm going to D. So let's go back to. Let's go to a little melodic movement here, and then using these two notes that are right next to one another, and then finally from D I need to go back to A. Oh, I like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. I go and stretch these notes out a bit. Alright, I like it like that. Next tutorial, we're going to learn how to put all these instruments together to create a 2-bar loop. Stay put.